Okay. Hi, it's Bernadette Rock for Boxing Disclosure. I'm at London ahead of Wednesday's...
Where?
I'm in London.
London? Is that a Brummie thing?
Close to Birmingham. London.
Where?
London.
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 Exactly.
London.
Exactly.
Cool. How are you anyway?
I'm alright. I've got a bit of a cold. Got a bit of a
I can hear
Tyson
that, yeah.
Fury throat going on.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to talk to you about as well. Yesterday's news. Did you hear it? He didn't show up, did he?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's more to that than meets the eye. I don't think Ukad turned up either apparently. So
No.
I wonder whether they've done a deal or I don't know. I'm not really involved in the process, but I don't think. Obviously, people come out and say, "Wow, Tyson Fury didn't turn up. What's he doing?" But I think there's probably a little bit more to it than that.
I think yesterday when you were speaking to other people, you were like, "Well, is it today? Is it today?"
Yeah, I don't know. I think. Yeah, like I said, look, I'm sure he's got people involved in what they're doing. Now he's got, he's working with MTK as well. They're not going to let him make mistakes like that. So I think there's probably a little bit more to that than meets the eye.
Okay. How was today? Let's talk about the weigh-in. It's nearly there. Tomorrow, the last show of the year.
Yes, it's a mad show. I mean, we've ended up obviously with Hay Bellew falling through. We've had to add more fights to the card, Josh Kelly and Conor Benn particularly. And when you look at the lineup, we start with Gamal Yafai, then you've got Felix Cash, you've got Ted Cheeseman against Tony Dixon, you've got Joe Caldina, you've got Lawrence Okoli, you've got Josh Kelly, you've got Conor Benn.
You said them twice, but...
Have I? I don't know. It makes it sound even more impressive.
Yeah.
And then we've got a great light heavyweight matchup between Jake Paul and Miles Shinkwin. Then we've got the European super featherweight title between Julie Giner and Martin Ward. And then we've got the World Lightweight Championship between Katie Taylor and Jessica McCaskill, who I can't hide it. I am a massive Katie Taylor fan. I think she's great. I love everything about her. I love her focus, her determination, her will to win. I've never met a more focused individual in any form of life than Katie Taylor.
Wow, okay. Well, let's hope she comes through it.
It's a tough fight. It's a really tough fight. I like Jessica McCaskill. She can really punch. She's got a great team around her. They really fancied this opportunity. Katie's just got to be smart. She traded a bit too much in that last fight. She can't
Made
do that.
it though. So everyone loves a bit of a trade fight, don't they?
Do, yeah.
And I loved that fight. I was behind Katie as well myself.
It was great. It was a great. A lot of people that left Cardiff that night walked away talking about Katie Taylor. So that's great for boxing.
Brilliant. Okay, and what about the highlights of this year? Obviously, we're coming to a close now. You'll probably say Klitschko and the AJ. Yeah, but what else? What would you change about this year?
Well, if I could have had one thing, we would have got the Hay Bellew fight done in December 17th, but that's boxing. Of course, the Klitschko-Joshua fight was incredible, and I think that's a night that will be remembered in boxing history forever. Even going to the Millennium Stadium for the Takan fight of 80,000, it was still an incredible spectacle. Crawler against Linares was early in the year, then he went on and had a big fight with Ricky Burns. Burns tried to unify against Ndongo back in April. Ryan Burnett won the world title, then Ryan Burnett unified the world title. Kal Yafai defended his world title twice, once against a mandatory. Luke Campbell fought for the world title against Linares abroad. Gavin McDonald fought for the world title early in the year. There's so many great things to talk about. Obviously, Kell Brook against Errol Spence and Groves Chudinov was just a brilliant night of boxing. Obviously, Kell lost that, but he comes back in March. Just so many different. Hay Bellew, I mean, that was March as well. It's been an incredible year, non-stop.
Obviously, Frank Warren said that he's going to be looking to do obviously big events now as well.
It's been a while.
Actually, indeed. With your matchups, I know that it's not you obviously lone soldier in doing the matchups, and it is obviously the trainers and managers. But is that, you said that it's something that you're going to be working on for next year? Is that going to be true, and how are you going to manage that?
What's that?
The matchups. So they're going to be
big matchups. Yeah, well, so we've got
stronger matchups.
Yeah,
so some of the fights are easier than others.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you look at Saturday's card on the Copper Box. James DeGale was 200 to 1 on to win that fight, and Lee Selby was 150 to 1 on, and Yardy was 100 to 1 on, and so sometimes you get a mixture of. But I don't knock that show. It had some good names on it, but you got the hardcore fans who say we want 50-50 matchups. Sometimes you have a show where there's bigger names, but not always the tougher matchups, and sometimes you have the smaller names, but in 50-50 matchups. The idea is to get both. Do you know what I mean? So It's not easy, but we've got a history of creating great fights and huge events, and that's what we'll do in 2018. Flagship by Anthony Joshua. Obviously, if we can get the Parker fight done and the Wilder fight done, both of those in 2018.
That'd be amazing.
It would be
31st of March you're looking at, aren't you, for the Joseph Parker?
Yeah, still a way to go on the negotiations, but I think if everybody wants that fight, and we certainly do from our side, I think it will get done.
Okay. Also, Frank Warren, actually, he's cancelled this Saturday. Did you hear about that? His Brentwood show?
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, well, it's not now.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know what's gone on there, but yeah, I don't think some of the fighters are happy. They're having to give their tickets back.
Really? Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, you know, when you get a show like we had Fallout with Hay Bellew, you've obviously got a card of fighters that were going to fight, and we've had to scatter them around. Natasha Jonas is boxing in Manchester next week. Conor Benn and Josh Kelly been added here. So it's very difficult because obviously they've been training. They want to fight before Christmas and.
Yeah, Gamal, Yafai, he said that he couldn't wait to get out because he's been waiting, hasn't he, about 6-7 months or something?
I want him, you know, I want him to be fighting the big fights now, and they want a couple more. I want him to fight Gavin McDonnell on the March 3rd card with Brook, which I think is a great matchup, and he'll box here and hopefully in January as well before that fight.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, now Josh Kelly, obviously he is a star in the making. With your skill, I'm going to say skill, Techers,
thanks.
No way. Obviously in his talent, are you going to make him a star like AJ?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they say about trainers you're only good as the fighters that you train, and sometimes as a promoter.
I feel now really cheesy, I just said that, damn it.
Yeah, but sometimes as a promoter, you're only as good as the promoters you represent, and obviously the fighters, sorry. And obviously with Anthony Joshua, you've got a golden product there. And with Josh Kelly as well, because he's got everything. You know, he's got unbelievable skill. He's exciting to watch. He looks like a superstar. You know, he's a good-looking boy. And, you know,
this one,
yeah. You can't say no. You know, you can't say no. So I believe that, and the rate that he wants to move at will allow us to really grow as a product. And, you know, I think tomorrow night you're going to see a great performance, and then we move on. I'd like to see him headline in Newcastle as well. You know, in the first half of 2018.
So obviously he's been training quite a lot. It's been tough for him already, so hopefully
he's stepping up a lot faster than the others. I mean, this is a 10-round fight against a guy who's challenged the European title. Well, Adam Booth's pushing. You know, Adam Booth is watching him in the gym, watching him spar with good quality, you know, people beyond British level, and dealing with ease. He feels like we mustn't hold him back. We must let him go of the leash. And it's exciting when the trainer and manager say that to you, because obviously as a promoter you want to get him going as soon as possible rather than just giving him easy fights. But some people need more building than others. You know, talk about Conor Benn. Conor Benn had a dozen amateur fights. Josh Kelly had over 100. So he's a lot more experienced, and some fighters are ready to go sooner than others.
Okay. Now obviously you've got Brook as well.
Yeah.
Back in 154 is going to be that now. So do you think he'll stay there, or are you going to see how he performs?
Yeah, I mean it was tough. The 147-pound division is such a strong division that he didn't really want to leave that division, but he had to. He couldn't do it anymore. And you know, 154 pound is a very tough division. There isn't a huge reward for fighting guys like Lara and Hurd and Charlo, but they're very, very good. But so is Brook, and I believe at 154 pound he will be very, very good.
So there's some possibilities.
Sorry?
There's some possibilities.
Yeah, they are, because he wants to win a world title, so they're the champions. You know, Lara, a very, very tough fight. He's got a tough fight for Rabchenko. You know, people, like, I get a lot of criticism from people, who? I've never heard of him. So do your research. Rabchenko can fight. You know, he's boxed around. He is. It's a dangerous fight, because if Kell hasn't got the desire and the sharpness, it's going to be hard work, this fight. If he's still the same Brook, I believe he would look great, but he's just boxed Golovkin and Errol Spence. And people announce, you know, Brook Rabchenko, pay per view. I'm not watching that. Who said it's pay per view? No, I've never seen it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just a Saturday night fight night. Oh, right, okay, well, it's still, it's not, it's a good fight. So I'm excited to see it come back. It is. He was really hurt after that Spence fight, not just, but he was like, no, in his hometown, he's world champion. The Golovkin fight was always one against the head. He knew he could come back to welterweight, defend his world title, and he did. But to lose at Bramall Lane and to get the criticism, people said that he quit in the fight. Watch the 10th round. He boxed with 3 or 4 rounds with a fractured eye socket. The 10th round, he stood there, he traded. You know, when a specialist after the Golovkin fight said, if you keep boxing like that, you could go blind. there comes a point where you don't get any medals for being broke from fans on the internet. So he did more than anything to show his greatness. But he took it really bad. Yeah, for the first defeat, like I said, he lost to Golovkin, but a lot of people. The Golovkin fight, the only disappointing thing about the Golovkin fight really because the props he got, the increase in exposure, everyone was talking about Brook. But really, the Spence fight was the one that hurt him because he lost his belt and he lost it in front of his own people. And it took him a long time. It was a great fight. It was. And I said to him, I wanted him to move to 154 before that. He said, I'm not making everyone will accuse me of ducking Spence, and I don't want to do that, which I admire him for. But it took him a long time to get over that mentally and emotionally. And there were times where I didn't know whether he'd come back. And it's taken him time to say, no, boxing is my thing. I want to win a world title. I want to be a two-way world champion. And now he's got the bit between his teeth, and I can't wait to see him. I still believe he's one of the best fighters in the world.
Okay, and let's talk about America as well. Great way to start and finish 2017. What are your plans? Who else are you going to be with that?
Well, just working out a date situation. I think American fighters are very active. We can't make that same mistake. So once we've got our dates in order, we'll be able to grow our stable. I won't grow the stable until we've got our dates in order, and there'll be announcements on that soon. But April 28th, it looks like we'll be back with Daniel Jacobs, Jarrell Miller and others. Well, we'd love to win her against someone. There's also another fight on the card, which is Spice O'Sullivan is the American heavyweight Antoine Douglas. So we may look at the winner of that as well. But I just want to keep Daniel Jacobs active. Ultimately, he wants to win it from Canelo Golovkin, so we'll have to see what happens if that gets on the main field.
Okay, cool. That's it from me. What a great year. Before you go, I saw by accident on the Instagram stories, you're a bit of a karaoke fan. I reckon that's where you got yourself
yeah, possibly. I did say to the missus that I feel terrible in my throat. She thought it didn't seem too bad when you were singing on that party. So you can't make away with it. Someone put it out.
I know. I was like,